All right, now we're on live. This is Alicia Stringer here, always empowering success streams out here in sunny Nashville. And if you are here live, there is a comment stream on the Millionaire Mindset Hangout. I'd love for you to type in your name, where you are at, because we can broadcast all over the world. And it's so amazing to connect with people all over the world and see where they're at and help us not making sense today, help each other move to the 10X level, because we are going to talk about the 10X rule by Grant Cardone today. And I'm so excited to have my special guest out here today, Chad Oxted, and he's going to come out and share some insights as well. I am usually out here with more of my panel friends, my lady friends, superwomen. I usually have Valerie, and she is an amazing ballet still. And then I have Keisha, and she's helping her wonderful daughter get over to college and get her all situated. And I'm just here with the little 8-year-old girl, so she's in school, and I get to do fun things like this. And Chad doesn't have any kids yet.
Nope, no kids. We're single and you know, no kids. So we pretty much do whatever the hell we want. So how's it going?
Going amazing. I shared in the group that there are a couple of resources, some PDF books. So if you were able to see my Facebook event, there is a little summary that I found that I thought might be helpful to people as maybe they're watching the Hangout and just forcing themselves to take it to the 10X level. I also found a resource of the whole PDF book. If you haven't read it yet, there's no excuses now. I gave it to you, and you can find it on Google, and I've gotten it from the library. There's tons of resources. You can buy it. Tell me how you got your copy and how you went through it, Chad.
Yeah, so I actually have Audible, which I love, and so it's Audible, and check it out. I actually, before you even invited me, I don't know if you can see that, but I was listening to it this morning because the last week or so, I just haven't felt like I was taking 10X action. I wasn't being really committed to my dreams. And it really came down to it. I was listening to today. It was, he talks about adjusting your action. If that one thing isn't working, you have to kind of come at it at a different angle, but you still have to take 10X action. And like, I was taking action, and that specific action I was taking, and this is kind of off the book topic, and maybe they do talk in there, maybe this is where I got it, I don't even know. But one of the worst things you can have is like premature success. If you just get in to a company and you just decide to join and you just have a ton of success right away, like really easy success, like people just start joining you for no apparent reason, and you're like, holy crap, like I didn't really do anything, but these people are joining. You start thinking that's how it's going to be all the time. And then when you finally hit the reality wall and you're like, oh, well, it's going to take actually a lot more success, you actually get like a little discouraged. And I don't know if I was discouraged because I don't really believe in all that, but I was taking action. I had a ton of success. I'm working on a project, and I kind of just, it was going really good. Everybody was joining, and they were putting down their deposits for this thing that I'm doing. And, everything was just going really, and then like that same action wasn't putting out the same results. And like that approach just wasn't working the same way. So now I have to start looking at it from a different angle. And so that's one of the things that I've learned from the 10X rule.
Excellent. It's always finding, when you're at that stuck level, figuring out how you can tweak it, change it to get you to look at it at a different level, to try something different. Because some people just think, oh, there's no way, I'm just stuck, or, there's nothing else I can do. And I think that starts my insanity role. You're like, I'm doing the same thing over and over. So this book as well has pushed me to different levels to, when I think I first got introduced to it with Chris Record. He was on an Empower Hour call and told told about his life and how he was introduced to it, and he really connected with the author, and he recommended him. They friends each other. I mean, they're probably really close. And when he shared his story on how he was able to not only just 10x it, like 100x it, like take it now and then do it. Why not just do it 10 times bigger? And it really thought of a different way to look at it, a different mindset, going, I'm not playing on the level I really deserve to be on. And you look at yourself that you deserve to be on a bigger level. You deserve to be up there with the other ones. And I think a lot of small business entrepreneurs really have that mindset sometimes because, oh, I'm not a big league company. And I had that experience with, I was trying to help some other small businesses, and one was a party shop. And now this was a party shop that was in a small town. I was living in a small town at the time. And then they had the next connector town, which was a little bigger. It was more the main city that people would recognize in the state. And it was about 30 minutes away. And she was always wondering, how can I be competitive to this other big party store that was just 30 minutes away? Because some people in that town would rather go straight to that big, franchise or whatever, big party store, than to her little shop that she had. And she had the same exact stuff. She might even have it cheaper or whatever. It was just a different relationship, or that mindset that she had in order to get in front of those targeted people right near her. I mean, she could do targeted advertising and stuff like that, but it was just her mindset. Oh, I'm not even comparing to this big store, even though she literally had almost like the same exact stuff that this big store had. And it's a lot of those small business entrepreneurs going, I can be on the next level just as that big store that's out there. And it's just presenting it in the right way, just the different posture that you have. And sometimes it's excuses that they talk about, but it's really that mindset. And this book can really help you position yourself in the correct mindset to tweak it just a little bit. Have you ever had some of those excuses that came up that you didn't think, Chad, that would stop you from thinking of trying to get you to that next level?
Oh, totally. I had some major worthiness issues, and even like 8 months ago, right? I didn't feel like I should be the face of my business, right? I talk about this a lot when I branding myself. I thought I'd make fun of branding, like branding yourself, because I didn't actually feel that I was worthy of putting my face in my business. And in that form was stifling my growth, right? And so the other thing is, like, one of the things that I was having a challenge at almost being comfortable where I was. I make good money, and I haven't had to look at my bank account in a while, and just be able to spend pretty freely. And it just, I got where I was comparing myself of the people around me instead of comparing. First, I don't think you should compare yourself to anybody. But if you're going to compare yourself to somebody, compare yourself to somebody on a higher level where you want to go, right? Look at where they are, because I made a post earlier, inspired by this book. It was just like, it's not impressive to be the richest person in the trailer park. I live in a lower middle class area, not just because that's where I've grown up, and that's where my family is. And so this is, let me say, I live here about total maybe 6 months out of the year. Winter I go somewhere warm, and at least every 2 months I go somewhere else. Be it one of our company events, be it some sort of personal development, or even some, like now I'm going to start doing some workshops outside of the country and doing stuff like that. So when I'm here, the people around me are just really not striving for anything. They're just kind of settled with their life. They're cool with a job that makes, you know, they're just pumped if they're making $40,000-$50,000 a year, and I'm just, you know, I just need to not spend as much time around them, for one thing, and I need to get around more successful people, see how like that side lives, and you know, I need to figure out how to not be so comfortable. I need to somehow to stretch myself and you know, and just be able to get to that next level. That's one of the challenges I've always had. One of the things is now I'm actually I guess I am conscious of where I'm at, and that I need to push to that next level, and to be able to kind of stretch myself. I guess I'm not taking the action like I'm broke anymore, because I'm not, you know, because I have money, and it's like, you know, you almost I guess Damon John actually has a book. It's like The Power of Broke or something. I haven't read it yet, but I guess I understand the concept of it, is that you almost have to pretend like you're broke all the time so you can keep on grinding, so you can keep on going to that next level.
That's so true. I was caught one time thinking of when you were talking about the face, that I didn't want to put my face in it. I was putting another successful leader with me. You know, I go to the events and take lots of pictures with leaders, so I would kind of use those type of pictures all around. Although they are important, but I don't think that needs to be your face in your business. Hey, I'm with the leader. You know, I am successful as well too. So I've been caught with that as well too. George is here. I'm so excited you're here. Did I say your name right, or is it Jorge? I always say it wrong.
Either way, I mean,
Okay.
Jorge, George, as long as they call me, I really don't, I know it's me, to put it that way.
Awesome.
Yes.
Share a little bit about where you are and your experience with the 10X level book, 10X Rule by Grant Cardone.
Yes, well, I'm based in Miami, Florida. Fortunately, a meeting I had in the office was canceled, so I'm going to jump in this because I think it's the 10X Rule is one of the nicest books. I mean, there are good books out there, and they are good books like this one. So the 10X is something that I mean, first of all, let's take it from a form. It's easy to read. It's easy to dive into it. It's easy to learn from these things. And the 10X Rule, I mean, what I do as a tip, when I read a book, I just don't read it. I take notes. So I'm basically making a summary all the time of all the notes here, of all the chapters. So I always go back to the book. Now, the 10 rule really has expanded the way I'm thinking right now. And I think I came in a little bit late, but I managed to hear something that Chad said, is that there are too many people out there in their comfort zone. Too many people that are happy just the way they are, and I mean, for them that's okay. For me, that's okay with them if they want to be there, but I don't. I always want to go a little bit further, push the limit, have my bold goals that some people may say to me, oh, they're not attainable, they're not reachable. I said, yes, maybe so, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be a much better place than I am right now if I don't set these bold goals. And these bold goals come out from the 10X rule that, you know, when you do things, you do it 10 times, make 10 times the effort, because it's going to come out to a better place. So I like what Chad said about that, about the people being happy in the comfort zone. And at the end of the day, and many of us, we don't really waste our time, and please see it in a good way, to deal with them and try to work with them and try to succeed with them, because at the end of the day, they don't want to. And you have to, not only you have to lead, but you also have to learn how to lead, and you also have to be a leader. No, sorry, I said it wrong. You have to be a leader and also follow leaders as well, so you can learn and so you can push up. So it's very important, the people that surrounded you. So the notes that I have, I mean, it's what is success. I can't say that word. The degrees of action, of taking action, that we call it in the book, and it's been amazing. And it's the thing about what if I don't do this, and I think, and we saw that in a Periscope a few days ago about what if we don't do this? What if I'm scared to go out of my comfort zone? Well, what if you don't? What if you don't? Are you going to stay there the same way? So the 10X rule for me has been, again, they're good books, and they are good books like this one. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Isha?
Awesome. Yeah, this is one of the ones I always want to study and go back. Like Chad said, he was re-listening to it again this morning. And there's some, powerful stories in it as well. You always hear of the people that are, I think, more so training to strengthen their physical body. And whenever you see a lot of mindset videos, period, on YouTube and stuff, it's a lot of people training their physical body. And when they're in, training with weights, when they're doing marathons or whatever they're working on, it's a physical feeling that you have to put yourself into that mental state that you need to clarify. And I've been reading the Paulina suggested the Unlimited Power book too, and it gives a lot of those insights. How you have to change your state and know that physical feeling in order to change that. There was one. The Rocky, mentality, Rocky story that he gives an example of that, that physical feeling or whatever you need to do to push yourself to that 10x level. So most of the time, I get that into the state when you're working out, because I didn't believe that, I didn't think I could do 100 push-ups per day. Me as a little woman, I was starting off from the wall, But in January, I was starting to do my push-ups in the wall, and now I'm doing real push-ups, no weenie, knee push-ups. I'm doing the real push-ups, and 100 per day, and I'm just so proud of myself. Going, I can do this, and that's kind of what it takes to put yourself to the 10x level. Now, I might not see it with my flabby arms still, but as if you think they're flabby, I don't know. But we're making, you do your own physical ailments or mental, what can you really do? And when you see that, what you can do and maybe what you can do online with your actions, and I think that's where you really see what actions can you to put forth in your 10x level. Was there any other stories that stood out to you guys that you want to share from the book?
Go ahead, Chad. You were going to speak there.
Well, one thing is just some things that you can do. It's like I do something called batching. So if I'm going to do a video today, what I'll do is I'll actually break down and I'll write down, like videos around that idea. So actually, what I did was I have them downstairs, but I went to a magazine stand and I grabbed these. I didn't even know these existed, but they're magazines, and the whole thing is sales pitches on different business opportunities. There's franchises. There's all these different things, and so I bought these magazines, and so I'm going to actually create a YouTube channel, and I'm going to do business reviews, and I'm going to do a review on each one of these things. So instead of just doing one, I'm going to do 10, right? And so, and is it going to take, a little bit more energy to do 10? Sure. This is the thing is, though, I'm going to get 10 times the results that I would have if I would have just done, the one. And it's more of a chance for one of those to hit and go up to, a couple thousand views or whatever, and get some leads and some sales and some different things. So just ways of doing that. Another way is if you're building this type of business, is building relationships with people on Facebook, right? Who was? Oh, I think. So one of the guys that's just killing it in iPass and Power is Fraser McDonald. And one of the things that they do in their team is their goal is for everybody to connect with 100 people a day on Facebook, which is freaking like a lot. I mean, it's a lot of work. I can only imagine. I've done that 100 in specific periods of time, right? Like where I, when we have a new launch going on, or something really exciting is coming up, like this merge that's going to be coming up here soon with the new funnels and everything. Really excited about that. So when I have one of those exciting times, I'll kind of buckle down and almost. I remember, and this is almost like because I mean it turned into a bunch of money for me, and it taught me something that I've never went through. I never went to college, so I never knew that what's that when they do your
Cramming for a
study
test
all
or
night
something.
long? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're studying all night for cramming.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's like, right? I've never been through a strenuous time like that. I didn't go through like a Marine boot camp or college where I did that, or I guess now I'm training in Krav Maga, so I do some tests that are pretty intense in there. And that is definitely cool because I guess one of the things, it's funny, one of the challenges that I had when I was first starting to have some success, and the holdbacks that I had, was that I wasn't homeless. Oh, I mean, I guess I was kind of almost homeless when I was living in the hotel room, but I wasn't like on drugs, or I wasn't living in a van or anything like that. Wasn't beat as a kid or anything, even though my father did pass away, and that had a major impact on my life. But I didn't, I didn't have that. Even though there was times where my bank account was in the negative, and all those things that we were talking about. I didn't have that, like, I was super, super poor, like living in a trailer, to now I'm making a bunch of money on the internet. And so I kind of questioned to myself, can I be successful without like that real strong, I was homeless on drugs and this and that, like, story, to now I am making a bunch of money on the internet, like, because that's really what's strong. It's what sells, and people really can relate to that sometimes, right? Sometimes they can't relate to that, but people feel that, like, desperation, that really, like, tough times where, maybe you guys have done this, is when you go to get gas, you get gas on the weekend because your card isn't going to go through, the charge isn't going to go through to Monday. I've been there. I know what that's like, because you probably don't have, maybe you have enough money in your bank account at the time. So, it's just, I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, I do know that, the Blog Beast. When Blog Beast launched, I locked myself in the room for like 2 days, and I was just going super, super freaking hard. I just was connecting with people on Facebook, keep creating that relationship, and I would send them the link. And I was getting signups, and it was like, it was out of hand. But it taught me how to grind properly, how to, like, really compress time frames. And, like, that's what you need to do for a small period of time of your business. You really have to do a crazy amount of action to really blow up. And that's one of the things that Grant talks about in his business, in the 10X rule.
Yeah, totally all about the actions. When you're in a desperate state, I think like that, then you find more desperate actions, and more people will gravitate to that, or you quit and you go backwards. And he talks about going backwards in the book and the effects of that, and realizing how fast you need to come out of that, and you can come out. No one stays down and keep going backwards. You always have to keep moving forward and not be average, and move to the 10X level. How about you, George?
Yeah, I like Chad's story because it's pretty much the same as mine. I mean, I've never been in drugs, never had any problems at home. I mean, it was what we call a typical, normal, average family. I did went to college, and I wasn't the best student. I wasn't the worst. I was just pretty normal. But it's always something that this is not the rags to riches kind of story, which is I find it amazing, and I love it now, because I think everybody wants everybody to succeed, no? Everybody to be successful, to be happy. I mean, that's the purpose. But one of the things that that the book changed me is that in the past I used to compete a lot. I used to get either jealous, discouraged that other people were having success and I wasn't. And and the book really opened my mind and said, you know what? At the end of the day, stop worrying about what other people are doing and just do what you have to do and compete versus yourself. So and here in one of the chapters it says success is your duty. So it's your obligation, your responsibility. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. So, I mean, chapter 10 says competition is for sissies. Okay, so well, I'm competing about that, and I'm more worried, concerned about, for example, what Alicia's doing, what Shad is doing. No, I mean, they're doing great, and that's fantastic. They're doing great. I'm going at another pace, another level, and it's fine with me, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm responsible for my success, and that really opened my mind to it. And I said, wow. And once I got out of that mindset of competition, results started to come in. Like, wow, I'm really focusing on myself. I'm really focusing on grinding it and be better than I was yesterday, and less better than tomorrow. So it's a growing process, and that was really like an eye opening to me that I had with in those couple of chapters, because after it was 2 chapters. And how was that done? Basically by the demanding more from yourself, without going crazy, by the way, but demanding more from yourself. Doing 10 times the effort, and as Chad just said, as you do 10 times the effort, and you'll get better results than just one effort and one result, because the odds, I mean, let's face it, not every time you do something you're going to be successful. You're going to fail, but at the same time, those failures are going to be experiences that you learn how in the future how to approach new things. So you do 10 times the efforts, you're going to have a lot better results than when you were doing it at the beginning. Alicia?
Yeah, it's very powerful. Something I'm trying to teach, my daughter and stuff, and more people I think will respect you more when you understand the fact of always being in competition of yourself rather than the others and the people around you. And the other fact of that you said, talking about failure, you push yourself to 10x level, and you push yourself to continue doing different actions in different ways. And I think that's when a lot of people question themselves and what they're doing. When is it time to say, I gave it my 10x level, to say, I'm done, I've quit, I've got to change, do something else. And I think that is a big question that a lot of people, especially in this industry, wonder to figure out how can they change their mindset to the 10x, or is it even possible to do something else, or what are some of the options that they look at as they're taking their 10x level? Can they change it to do different 10x actions to make it work for them? Any insights from that, you guys?
Yeah, it's really. Oh, Georgie, if you want to jump in on this one, that's fine. No. Okay. It's. I'll say it's a habit. Success is a habit. Taking more action is a habit. One of the things that I've gotten, I got into the habit in the last week. I was just like, didn't get it as much done as I like at all. And this morning, actually, when you hit me up, I almost went back to that. And one of the things is that believing that you have unlimited amount of time to do things, and that you are going to do less, right? Okay, so example is you have you hit me up and you're like, hey, do you want to come on this webinar about the 10x rule, this and that? And I was going to do a Periscope right then, and it was like 1 o'clock, and I had to still come home, grab my a couple of things, there's some shoes that were on and whatever, to come go out and do the Periscope, because I like walking around my neighborhood when I do it. And I was very easily could have said, oh, I don't have enough time to do a Periscope because I'm supposed to be jumping on to this Hangout at 2 o'clock. I had a whole freaking hour to do it, right? And so you can jam things in there. Successful people, I heard a quote the other day. It was about successful people use their downtime as uptime. And what that means is that they don't. Excuse me. Successful people use their downtime as practice for their uptime. And so what that means is that if you have downtime, it's not really downtime. That time is now time to go over your goals, time to go over the things where you want to go, your plans for your success. It's how to set up your next win, right? And so, Muhammad Ali says that, your championships are not made in the ring. They're made in that time between the fights. And so the things that you do to set up for the things that you need to do in your business is what sets you a winner and an amateur, or a pro and an amateur apart. And so hopefully that's enough cliche book references for one speech right there.
Very powerful. Thanks, Chad.
You're welcome.
One of the things that Shad mentioned about habit is in the book, the 10X books, they talk about obsession. Obsession is not a disease; it's a gift. So if you really want something, I mean, you're obsessed about it. You go after it and you hunt for it, and you take it says here obsession is what you need to set 10 times goal and to follow them up with 10 times actions. So, and if you're going to take actions, you might as well, I mean, what they call go all in or overcommit. So, at the end of the day, you put the best effort that you have. We're talking about 10 times the effort, 10 times the actions. And if it doesn't result, if you're not happy, if you don't feel discouraged, you know what? You can always go back. But at least you give it your best try. And again, at the end of the day, you're competing against yourself. So only you know the reality that if you gave it all you got, if you really did it 10 times and you really gave it all your best, you went all in, you committed. So that was to me, that was important, because I admit, I'm the first to admit, I wanted something, but I didn't go all the way. I really didn't push it. I didn't really take the extra hours. So I remember in college that we had to go all the night through to make an exam, because we hadn't studied a few days back or a week back, and we had no idea what was the exam about. So, but then, was it worth it? No. I mean, we pushed the bar. You pushed the limit, your limit, to get what you want, not what anybody else wants. That's why they said in the book, forget about competition. Just competition with others. Compete against yourself. Make yourself better, and that's the only way, with the 10 times, making 10 times the effort, setting 10 times goals, and taking 10 times the action. Alicia?
Very true. I was relating to what you were saying. Some people relate it to business, and I relate it to relationships. When someone told me that, I didn't love them enough, or they were mad at me in a certain way, says, well, I want to show more ways that I love you even more, and more actions to share that, gratitude or affection or whatever they were doing to me, and in a bigger level. And I think that's so true on showing more of who you are, that just showing your relationship to other people, the gratitude that you can share to more people in a bigger level. What have you never done before that you can give them even more edification that they've ever had before? And that will reap rewards as well. So I always take that, into more relationship efforts as well, and not just business and the actions that you're taking, but more of your personality, what you can show out of who you are. And another thing that I just went blank. You can step out and to on the obsessions, you kind of go back and take that moment to reevaluate and see. Look at your history, your past. What did you do, and what was that reaction? You kind of do a self-analysis of what happened, what was your actions, and what happened, and then you can say look at what new actions can you get, new actions can you do, and prepare for what reactions do you think would happen compared to that past. If you do new actions, then you're going to try to get the different results. So I always kind of look at things backwards as well to to kind of, you know, reevaluate those different things in your life. So I know there's like multiple things I was trying to think about there, but it's very powerful on all the different aspects he gives in the book on, you know, just the different obsessions you have, and it isn't a disease and it's a gift, on how you really need to look at those passions and stuff that you need to focus on. He does talk about fear and the myth of time management and that, and so that's why I looked at the evaluation in it. What really stuck out to me was the criticism inside the book, because I've taken that mental abuse of the criticism and more of a personal level than I really think I should have, and it seems like I was being the victim of that in a bigger way than I really need to look at it. And that was a really tough thing, and understanding how different victims take that criticism and being able to overcome it. Because when I was looking at so many people stuck in that mental disease, that they stay on that rotation over and over. They get, you know, either they're in that mental relationship, they're in that mental abuse or something, and it's just a cycle. And it's really tough to stop the cycle and get out of it if you don't really think about getting on the 10x level. It just puts me to tears, you know, thinking that, you know, people are just stuck in this cycle, and that just happens to them over and over because they feel like they can love on the bigger level, but they still love me, or they still, you know, are there or something. But it's just, how do you get yourself out of that, you know, criticism cycle, out of that, you know, relationships, to step out? And I see so many people that, you know, are going into jail or something, that they really have to get themselves in all new, brand new relationships, all new environment around them, in order to step out into that 10x level, to really put themselves in a brand new atmosphere. And sometimes that's really what it takes, is, you know, this is a brand new slate, just like I need a brand new environment. I need to go to a new city. I'm ready to change everything and put yourself into a new situation that you know you can excel more of being a new person, and being a new 10x level, new 10x actions that you've never set yourself to do before. And that's sometimes what it takes to, for me at least, what I kind of got out of there. There's a couple different chapters that go on different aspects. Do you have any other last insights on that?
Yeah, I will. Lack of massive action or 10x action, it leads to depression. It does. It's like, because what happens is, if you don't take like massive action, right, you start wondering, why isn't this working, right? Why am I not having success here? And so it's like, there's probably so many people on here that are like you've jumped into a business and you took moderate action and you didn't get the results you were looking for. So you start wondering, well, why isn't this working? Right? Why am I not having the success I'm looking for? This is to say, every single person. See, marketing is cool, because what it has to do, we have to meet you where you are, right? So sometimes we make this stuff look like it's a lot easier than it is. The truth is every single one of you have to take tons and tons and tons of action at the beginning to kind of just get over the hump and get enough success out there so people start looking at you as a leader, and then it becomes easier, right? I get sign-ups and I get people joining me just because of stuff I did a year ago or 2 years ago, and just the action and that kind of stuff. People already perceive me as a leader because I took so much action at the beginning that I just made it look, I got this residual action, and then it started getting easy, and or easier at least. And so, and every time you start a new project, you have to do the same thing. You have to take that massive action, and then what happens is it just becomes a snowball of success, and then actually things actually start getting easier. You start learn how to automate. You learn how to start having outsourcing people doing things that you're doing, so then you don't have to do them, and then you have a perpetual system of success.
And one thing that I find also important is that how many times, and I know in my case has been many times.
You're a little low, George.
Oh, sorry about that. As I was saying, thanks. It happened to me a lot of times. Is I look back and I think, wow, I should have done that. I should have worked harder. I should have making this decision. I should have taken action. And to live with that kind of regret, which at the end of the day is your own fault. I mean, my own fault, because I didn't take the action necessary. Because I could blame everybody. I could make all the excuses in the world, but deep down inside, I know it was because of me that something didn't came out the way I wanted it to come out. So it's not about having a dream, it's going after that dream. And sometimes we don't do that because we have fear, we feel embarrassed, whatever reason. But that comes a point where you seek help. You seek help. You look for mentors. You look for leaders. You follow people that are where you want to be. You get surrounded by these kind of people that are going in a path. And I want to be where this guy is. I want to be where Shad is. I want to be where Alicia is. So I follow, see what they're doing. I don't have to be on top of them and asking questions. No, I could just follow them as well. But sometimes we tend to think that the problem is only with us and we're the only ones struggling. No, everybody struggles, but at the same time, everybody is pushing forward to be successful, and that's one of the things that the 10X showed me as well. That what, follow people, follow those horses that are going forward, and that you want to be like them, and forget about the fear, forget about the embarrassment, and don't regret it. That's why we take that maximum overcommitment, maximum 10x action to get reach our 10x goals. Alicia?
I think I'd rather, go for it. And if I do regret it, it's, a mistake you learn real fast and move forward with it. Because I really don't like to look at, regrets that I didn't take the action, but you always have to take the action and learn from your mistakes. And that's come from the other aspect going, do I ask for permission or forgiveness aspect too, and you have to really understand your position with that one, because with my move I'm asking for permission before forgiveness on this one. Dang it, I wanted to ask forgiveness, I want to just move. So there's different ways you want to do that on that. The chapter on customer satisfaction is the wrong target. I think that's it was very powerful to understand how sometimes you're pleasing them like way too much or something, and it was a really different mindset to look at. The customer's always right, and you're looking at and trying to please them on the 10x level, but it's not moving you forward, and it's very challenging to recognize that different aspect as well, to understand the relationship you have as you're trying to help people, and also making sure you're helping yourself move forward and growing as well to the 10x level. So I think they shared a lot of balance in that on being successful, unsuccessful, and how you position yourself in the right place to put yourself in position for 10x actions like that. So get to inside the book if you haven't finished reading yet. Any other insights from that? Any last stories y'all guys want to share before we head off?
It's just really for everybody. If you're still watching this, you're either part of our team already and you just love this Hangout, and you're just so pumped up about being here and how excited what's going to be happening in the next few weeks. We have Orlando coming up, super pumped about that, for multiple reasons. Project Titan, you have the merge of iPass and Empower that's going to be happening in the next the next week or so. I'll know the specifics on that when my my secret mole tells me in the next hour or so. I'm super excited about that. Actually, got to get on a call with him soon. And so I'm super, super, super pumped about that. Just new sales funnels, everything's just going to be just run like so smooth. Like, right, you know, I've been having success and making money. The new people have been having some success, but now it's like there was like a dam in the river, and now it's going to be all clear, and people are going to be able to just drive their yachts down the river and have a ton of success. So I'm super, 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 super pumped on where this is going, how everything. So if you haven't taken action yet, if you haven't clicked the link below to get started, go ahead and do that. If you if you're in our team, one of our teams, you're seeing this, message us, say, hey, I'm really serious about getting to Orlando. I'm really excited about this launch. I'm serious. I'm a leader. I'm ready to change my life and actually take 10x action for once in my life and really just go full bore. And we're going to work with you and help you finally have the success that you've always been looking for, because we have the blueprint just with this, with the training and Empower iPass, and then with what we're learning in the 10x rule. Super excited about that.
For sure. How about you, George?
I can't agree more with what Shad and you said. So it's it's even though, yes, it's team working, everybody's going in the same direction, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. The team is so amazing that you just get overblown. You just want more and more and more and more about it. So I mean, I have really no more words than what Chad just said and expressed. I mean, very, very clear, very down to the point.
Yes, there's so much I've learned, I think, straight from the mindset training, from learning from books and leaders like you guys out there, just all these millionaire mindsets that we've done. And that's what's kind of driven me more to see so much value inside of the products inside, because it'll challenge you and reference you with all these books and stuff to be able to take the actions to the 10x level, and using these resources that we have to help so many people online. It's like the elite online store that you won't find in universities or anything anywhere, and how they have masterfully know all these problems, are able to work with the best technical people that's beyond us, beyond putting things together in an amazing way that flows and has all the resources for you to be available to use your strength and to take it to the 10x level. So that's why I love this book and getting the insights of overcoming our fears now, no regrets, taking action, don't worry about the mistakes, moving forward with everything we've said today. And don't think yourself as a small person. Think of a bigger person. You are in the big city now, or you are in the big world. You were, I was amazed. My blog is known all over the world. I mean, people know me in all sorts of countries. And just thinking that back, people can know you everywhere. Getting on a Periscope or a Hangout and seeing, how many viewers are going to watch you live. Does that make you nervous? Put yourself in position to take it to the 10x level. So like Chad said, click the link below. We're going to have another powerful Hangout every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll see you guys there. Thanks so much for watching and coming on, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.